Hello and welcome to ET Garage. More problems with the Vette. Alrighty, here we are back with problems with the Vette, and I had this thing running really good. I was working on fine-tuning the tune and the ECM. I had like real minute changes just to fine-tune it, and then I just needed to do some wide-open pull tuning. And I had this running really great. And earlier in the week, I decided to pull this distributor out because it was leaking oil around here. All I had to do was seal it up, put it back in, and go. But I decided I wanted to take this shaft out and give this a good cleaning. And it was kind of stuck in there when I went to go take it out, so I had to hammer it out using a drift punch. And doing that, this end of this reluctor wheel shattered. Hopefully you guys can see that. See that little piece broken off, and then it has, I don't know, doubt you can see it in the video, but there's a crack in it too. So this is shot. You're thinking, well, you know, why not use the shaft out of that Jegs distributor I have? I have that Jegs distributor in there now. For whatever reason, this will not run correctly with that Jegs distributor in there. It breaks all up. It idles rough. I can't figure that out. But the funny thing is, I use that same cap and rotor and that ignition module in this distributor, and it worked great. So that only leaves that little magnetic coil that's in here. So I figured I would swap the magnetic coil from there, but apparently it's pirate already. In other words, it won't fit. Jegs made everything different. I can't take like that shaft out of there with this reluctor wheel and put it in this housing and use it with this coil because it's different. It's a different shaft diameter. Just like that coil's slightly different in there. I don't know why they did that. Why didn't they just make it the same GM standard, you know, as all the other distributors? I guess they just wanted to make it so you couldn't swap parts over. I don't know. About the only thing I can say about that distributor is it has a really nice machine finish. That's it. And then the way they machined it down here, it's not like your standard GM. They actually had very little room for here around this part for oil to flow through, and I actually had to stick it in the lathe and open it up. And then this diameter here is about 3/1000 under, so with this in, the oil pressure is slightly lower. And then they have a rubber seal on the end of the shaft here, so oil, and then they have a hole up here, the oil to get in there, and then that oil has nowhere to go but up out here. They should have, I could have seen them putting a rubber seal on the top here because you don't want oil coming up there, and you don't want a rubber seal on the bottom here because you want oil come down over that gear, help lubricate that gear. So I don't know what they were thinking when they designed that. It's just, and then they have grooves cut in it for O-rings, and but they don't include any O-rings, and it's a good thing because if they did, whenever you use O-rings on the bottom of one of these housings, you have to machine a taper in the hole inside the lifter valley, so when you drop this in, it slides in and out without tearing the O-rings. It's just weird what they did. So I don't know what to do. I've been screwing with this all week trying to get it to work, trying all sorts of things, and it was nothing but aggravation, time and aggravation wasted. The weather's been beautiful all week too, great driving weather. And today is going to be the last good day of that weather because starting tomorrow, temperature's going to drop and it's going to get wet. So kind of just, you know, so kind of blows off going to any car shows anyway for the weekend, but I could have went to a car cruise tonight if this thing was running. I could order a Davis Unified distributor, small cap distributor, and that would be just under 250 bucks probably, and put that in, and it's probably worked really well. I have the Davis Unified large cap distributor. That thing works great. I'm assuming their small cap works great too. When I did this intake, and I'll leave a link to the playlist for this intake, I was talking about cutting the back of the manifold off, machining it, and welding it so it would clear the large cap distributor. That's the reason I don't have the large cap distributor on this manifold. It doesn't clear the back. So I wish I did that. I would have been able to just drop that in. Everything would have hooked up. Everything would have ran great. So I have the option of getting a good distributor, spending the money on a good distributor, which I'd rather not do, because I'd rather spend that money elsewhere. I also, to take fully advantage of this intake, this combination, I need to change the shift points in the transmission and the gearing in the rear. That's my opinion anyway. You can leave your opinion down there if you want. This makes power higher up. Tune port makes power down low. And that's what the gearing and shift points in this car are set up for. It's set up for the tune port because it's a tune port car. I actually like the tune port. For the way I use this car, I have to say I like the tune port better than this intake. If I was a drag racer, if I was going to the local drag strip every Friday night, I would definitely change the gears in the rear of this car, put sticky tires on it, and I'll put a stronger rear end and sticky tires. Change the shift points of the trans, and this thing would probably scream down a quarter mile. You see my last video, it did terrible. I had a bad day. The weather wasn't great, and this developed a transmission leak. So I only got 2 runs in. Both were horrible. If the gearing was changed, the shift points had changed, this would have been a lot faster, but that's the way it is. So it's pretty frustrating. I think the best thing for me to do is to take this manifold off, go back to the tune port, and I think I'll be a lot happier. Let me know what you think down in the comments section. One thing I got to do with that tune port is I got to port match the base to these heads, because these heads have bigger ports. The heads I was using were the factory heads with 1204 gaskets, and I had the heads and the manifold port matched to them. These heads are 1205s. Use 1205 gaskets, which are slightly bigger, so I just got to port match them to them. Just open them up a little bit. And it'll be interesting to see how the tune port, which I probably will switch back to, works with this combination, because I do have a little bit more cam in it, and the bigger and better flowing heads. So that should be interesting to see how that works out. So that's it for this video. Next video, you'll probably see me switching back to the tune port. Let me know what you think. Think I should hunt down another distributor or keep screwing around with that, or go to the tune port. I'm probably going to go to the tune port. I think that's the best thing to do. I'm going to kind of miss this intake. I like experimenting with it and stuff, but I also want to be out there driving the Corvette without having to mess with anything. I want to be able to hop in it, go on a nice day, take real long road trips, all that good stuff. I can't do that right now. This whole week was basically wasted. So anyway, everybody have a great day, and God bless.